In this speech, I am going to demonstrate how to perform the derivative function of two calculus problems using a process called the chain rule. This year, I am currently taking AP Calculus at my high school, and I recently learned how to work these difficult problems. Once I figured out how to solve them, they became simple and easy to work. With calculus, you can't come up with the answers on your own without first learning the basics, which I will explain to you. First off, we will discover the basic rules that you need to know when working these problems, and then I will finish by showing you step by step how to work out two of these problems. First, we will discuss how a derivative is a basic for everything you will learn in calculus. It is a transition from the original version of a function to a different form of the same equation, which is then called a derivative. Today, I am going to teach you how to use the chain rule. This rule allows us to simplify equations that are difficult to solve. In the problem I am about to work with you, we will use rules like the exponent and constant rule along with the chain rule that I just discussed. Now, before we start working the problem, we must talk about u. U is a variable that we use in calculus to simplify problems in order to make them easier to solve. So when we use a chain rule, we substitute u into the equation like this. This becomes u equals 2x minus 7. Then you're going to move this to change it to y equals u cubed. Now you will use the exponent rule that I mentioned before, which moves a 3 in front of the u and subtracts 1 from the exponent. So it'll look like this: y equals 3u, and then the exponent is 3, so you're going to subtract 1, so that'll equal 2. This then becomes your derived function, so in order to finish the problem, you must substitute the equation back in for u. So y equals 3, u is going to be 2x minus 7 squared. Once you complete this step, the last step in the process is to derive the function u, which was 2x minus 7. Because we can do this by using our exponent rule, which cancels out the x, because x is to the 1, so when you subtract 1, it cancels the x, and then it leaves you with the 2, and your negative 7 goes away due to the constant rule. So your final answer becomes y equals 2x minus 7 squared times 2, which simplifies to 2x minus 7 squared as your final answer. The next problem I have for you is y equals 4 minus 9x to the 4th. We're going to use u again, so u will become this: 4 minus 9x equals u. So you substitute u in for the equation, so it'll be y equals 3u to the 4th, because u equals 4 minus 9x. Next, we use the exponent rule and bring the 4 to the front and subtract 1 from the exponent like this. 4 to the front, 4 times 3 equals 12, so y equals 12u to the u. 4 minus 1 equals the exponent of 3, so this becomes y equals 12u to the 3rd. Next, you substitute the equation in for u like this: y equals 12, u is 4 minus 9x, 4 minus 9x to the 3rd. The last step is to derive u, so the x cancels out like before, and the 4 goes away due to the constant rule. So u equals 4 minus 9x, and the exponent is 1, so 1's going to cancel out, so 1 minus 1 equals 0, so you cancel x out, and 4 goes away due to the constant rule, leaving you with a negative 9. Now you simplify the equation to y equals 12 4 minus 9x cubed times negative 9, leaving you with the final answer of 12 times negative 9 is negative 108 to the 4 minus 9x
to the third.
In conclusion, I hope through watching this speech that you will now start to understand how to work problems by using the chain rule. The chain rule, as stated before, is most commonly used to make our lives easier. In saying this, I mean that it helps us to work through the problems without getting caught up in all the extra time that we would need to work them without the chain rule. Math is one of those subjects that you are always required to learn new rules and formulas. It seems unfair that after so many years of math, I am still continuing to learn things that are completely new to me. Although, through doing this speech, I'm hoping that I was able to break down and explain this small section of calculus to you. Learning how to work derivatives is a process that can only be understood through your continuation of working problems on your own. It takes time and practice to master this skill, and I hope that in my speech I gave you the information that you need to get started on your calculus journey. Derivatives and the chain rules are only the beginning, but they are the foundation that you need to be successful in this subject. Thank you for your time, and I hope that you learned something about this speech.